I've always appreciated certain technologies, and I was fascinated by electric vehicles because they were 3 times more efficient. So right away they're like, well, that's a better thing. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I like efficiency.
It's my favorite car. It's easier to drive, it's more fun to drive. You can't hear this car. I mean, if every car on the road were electric, imagine how nice and quiet our lives would be.
It just takes me into my own world. I love it. The quietness of the car, the smoothness, comfortable ride.
An automobile, conventional automobile, produces greenhouse gases. It also produces a whole lot of dangerous particulate pollution. Those are the reasons why I decided to go for an electric vehicle.
It really makes a difference. We got to make the transition, at some point, or for my granddaughter, it's going to affect her.
I was lucky enough to attend a Drive Electric event in Keene on Earth Day. There I was given a test ride, and it was wonderful, and I loved it.
I actually took a test drive with a Bolt from the dealer, and I was sold. It was just love at first sight kind of thing. It was like, this is great. It's a great driving experience. I've driven an awful lot of cars, Porsches and Mercedes and Cadillacs and Chevys and Fords and everything else, and it's one of the more fun cars I've ever driven.
What's really fun about electric vehicles is that it has instant torque. If I'm trying to pass a car, I just add a little pressure to the pedal and there I go, blowing huge cars away, even some fancy sports cars.
An electric vehicle can do 95% of its braking with regenerative braking that doesn't use the mechanical brakes at all.
There are a lot fewer moving parts, a lot cheaper to maintain. In 18 months, I've paid $40.
There isn't that much that gets done. It's a tire rotation and cabin air filter.
I was also impressed by the Tesla's supercharging network.
They have their own infrastructure, the only manufacturer, in fact, of electric vehicles that has their own infrastructure for charging. The beauty of that is you have no anxiety of taking a trip, say, from here to California.
There's companies like ChargePoint, Ego. I use those two. I have an app for those, and they're all building charging networks all around the country. The infrastructure is coming because I think everyone sees the change, and we're looking at bringing the first fast charger to the Monadnock region at the co-op. Those are the pieces of the puzzle that will make it all better, make it all easier.
When I bought the car, the utility company gave me the charger. So basically the only thing I do is wire it in. So I'll plug it in at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, in the morning, whatever I set it to, it's charged.
I have solar, so a lot of times I'm charging my car for free. So there you go, no fuel costs right there.
The only thing I miss about going to the gas station was the squeegee to clean the windshield. Many of the new models that are being offered, whether Rivian or the Ford Mach-E Mustang, they've sold out all the cars that they're going to make for a while. The same with the Chevy Hummer. It's better technology. It's starting to really happen.
The car, number one, with all the instrumentation on it, it will teach you to be a more efficient driver. It'll also teach you more about how the thing behaves in cold weather. And I became aware that if the car had a heat pump, then it would probably be more efficient in the wintertime. And I was concerned about wintertime range. In the summertime, this is more like 300 miles of range. In the wintertime, charging tends to slow down, so it is a sort of learning process.
What's clear is that the more greenhouse gases we put up into our atmosphere, the warmer the planet is going to get, and most of the consequences of that warming are not going to be good.
Transportation is the largest source of greenhouse gases for the United States. It's even larger in rural areas like New Hampshire or Vermont or northern New England. And so it became an obvious area that we needed to look at.
And it's not just passenger vehicles, but trucks and buses. Once they all get to the electric state, we're going to be much better off as far as emissions or lack thereof. And this is just one way of making that possible, that we can sustain life on the earth.
EVs, because of the simplicity of them, I've got the possibility to actually be much less expensive cars. They may dominate the low end of the market at some point. I'm pretty excited about where the EV market is going and glad to be able to say it's here. I mean, it really is a car that I wouldn't hesitate to recommend. I mean, in fact, I tell people, go drive them. Go to your Chevy dealer or your Nissan dealer and try one. Why not? What are you waiting for?